Hey YouTube, this is a quick addendum to the Venomous video '03. You thought it was long, there's more. I just wanted to say that the another thing about the DIY community is you'll find if you're hanging around it a lot, most of those guys can't play. If there are guys that are playing, they're in cover bands. Those guys are jerks, okay? That's why they're good at electronics, because they're not good guitar players. So my advice to you is, if you ever want to involve yourself in that community and you can play, don't ever talk about anything, and that's not good. If you post videos that you're making music, if you have a cool old lady, don't ever talk about her. Don't ever talk about. You got to talk about the old ball and chain, how she won't let you do anything, and the typical, all that typical male, like, white male stuff. That's what they love at that place. There's two of the forums, okay? The one is more like free stomp boxes is the place you want to go. That's where the real deal people are. The noobs will end up going to the other one, that other place. And my experience was, like I said, I was honest, and I only posted in the off-topic forum, and I still got an incredible cold shoulder from all of those people. I could go on. The stuff that I saw that happened in that forum, I found threads where the top bigwigs were saying that they were going to have a list of people that they would ignore. That certain people, if they didn't, my cat's acting up. If certain people, for whatever reason, they had a list of people that all the top guys shared, and if your name got on it, they would just not respond to you. And my name got on that list very quickly. So that one forum, there's two of them. Free Stomp Boxes is the one that is good. The other one, you can use it. I would sign up for it and use the search. But as far as if you wanna join that community, if you want to try to fit in there, be careful. Be really careful about, use the search function, and don't ever they're only about theory in that place. If you can spout a bunch of really confusing theory, okay, they will never tell you anything. The main guys will never tell you what to do, like how to fix whatever's wrong. There are some medium level guys in there that are good, that will give you suggestions, that will help you out. So those are the guys you want to make friends with. But all the old guard in there, the guys that really know about their electronic engineers, those guys, it's a real tight club. They all PM each other, and if you get on the bad side of any one of those guys, or if you have any personality, if you joke around, you will immediately get on that list. It's a very straight-faced. Go look at Chromosphere. Go look at this type of, like, really stone-faced. Like, you could never make a joke, or if you did make a joke, it would be really, really cold. This is the type of stuff that's going on, and you'll find it like in the damn forum is like a cult. They're like a fuzz cult, and you have to be British. Um, these places, I haven't been able to find any. Free Stomp Boxes is alright. That's actually alright. But again, it's sterile, you know. So, yeah, I said it, and I tried. I really tried. I tried to make that a better place. I saw people getting attacked for having new ideas, when you were supposed to bring new ideas so that the people that are at the top that own pedal companies can take them from you? Yeah, I said it. I said it. So, through all of that, I wasn't the only one that felt alienated and left. There were other really good people. And it takes a special breed of person to do this job, and that person is not a sociable person. If you want to talk about zero social skills, just not good people, that's what you're going to find. So be warned. Don't ever make a joke in there. Don't ever talk about anything personal. Don't ever talk about anything music. And don't ever post anything about, especially if you're making original music. That would be the first thing you can do. Now, again, there are exceptions to the rule. There was a handful of good people. That astronaut, Waverly, a couple of good people that I met. The Italian guy, not the guy who called himself Italian guy. Marcello, or whatever his name is. Elijah Bailey, I think his name, that he goes by, is alright. Although he asked a lot of questions. He came in, he was from Italy. He had people spoon feeding him for years, massive threats where he just kept talking about how nothing worked right, and they would just keep helping him and helping him and helping him. And other people couldn't, for the life of them. If you asked a question, they would tell you to do stuff that would sabotage your build and blow up the pedal. You know, I had stuff, my chicken salad that my wife bought me for Christmas. I did exactly what I was told by a high-ranking member, and it blew the thing up. And it was SMT. It was tiny little transistor that blew up, 3 legs. So I had to solder some micro wire onto that and just guess that it would be an NPN switching transistor, and it was. And I was able to bring it back to life. Hallelujah. But that was at the point when I really started realizing that it wasn't fun and games. I had another guy trolling me, unbelievably weird stuff going on, personal stuff. So, again, there was a handful of good people, but for the most part, my time at that place was creepy and regrettable. So maybe it's not like that anymore, but if you go back and search, if you look in that place and you can find when they're all together talking about the Illuminati of the pedal community is talking about ignoring people and having a list, that's where real quickly you'll realize that you're treading water there and you're wasting your time trying to chum up to anybody or befriend people. Because like I said, I felt that I was making videos and I wasn't even really qualified, but people enjoyed them. So it seemed that all these upper end guys that really knew what they were talking about should be making videos. And I sent out a 40-question questionnaire for people to volunteer to participate in this interview. And it started off with, what was your first experience where music turned you on? What was your first album that you bought? What was the first band you saw live? And then all questions leading up about, it was a lot of personal stuff, and then it was, about building. And I sent out a dozen of those. No one responded. 3 months went by, and Debbie Ever came back and said her video was up. Now, I was asking them to do it through me so I could host it because it was my thing. She didn't do that. She wanted the views, so she just posted it up. And the next day, I had a half a dozen people responding that they wanted to do it. Now, in that, so there are a half a dozen of them that exist. But I had some people attack me and say that I was full of myself for appearing on the camera because they don't like my face and how I am, how I like, I get kind of cocky and I tell the truth, I guess. That was a real turnoff for them. That was the same person who told me, who sabotaged my chicken salad. That blew up the NPM transistor with his mod that he told me to do. So yeah, that guy obviously really didn't like me. I found out later he's a psychologist, so he's all into like, you know, Svengali mind games and all that, typing out just waves upon waves upon waves of theory. You know, when somebody, you know, basically has a crossed wire, it's like he doesn't need to know the atomic level of what's going on. He's got a problem. The thing won't work because he crossed his wires. You know, so. A half a dozen people participated in the series, and I did one. It's a long video; it's like an hour and a half. But Pink Jimmy Photon did one. This guy Dino Digituti, who well, I can't talk about him. He asked me not to talk about himself, but he's my favorite DIY person in the community. I feel that he's done the work that he's done is the most complicated and most advanced. If you look at the circuits, his company Dead End Effects, he sells PCBs and they're the most complicated PCBs on the market. So that should speak for itself. But he didn't like me painting him as a wonderkind. He wanted to stress to me that it was a group effort of a bunch of people, and I don't feel that's the case at all. I feel that other people have helped him out, but just following his work, looking at his YouTube channel, it's clear that he's head and shoulders above all of the other DIY guys. I mean, there's exceptions, yeah, but at least in that place and the people I was familiar with, he was the king. I mean, the stuff he was doing was just incredible. So again, it was kind of weird. It was bittersweet. And through that process, in that video that Debbie Ever did, the interview, she said that she needed to find more people to do demos. So I contacted her and asked her if I could do one. And that was how I was able to do the US Fuzz demo. So I'm going to link that below and stop talking smack. But yeah, those were the unfortunate facts for me about this community. Not good. Not good. Wasted a lot of time and ended up feeling a lot worse about humanity as a whole. So let's try to remember, if we're out there and we're carrying ourselves like we know something, there's a way to treat people, there's a way to deliver that information gracefully, where we don't come off and leave a bad taste in people's mouths. Let's be kind. It's not that hard to do.